Vicoding University, training humans to train themselves. Today, I want to talk about stuck, being stuck. Okay. Um, what basically, people that are smokers, they just can't see themselves ever stopping smoking. They sort of feel stuck. It seems like it's totally impossible for them to stop smoking. But they aren't the only ones, right? People that are in the ghetto can't see themselves getting out of the ghetto. People that are average can't see themselves really becoming stars. People that can't do math can't ever see themselves doing math. People that are overweight can't really ever see themselves being thin. They may hope, they may wish, they may dream about it, but it's like can't see it, right? Okay. Whenever somebody says they can't see, we're talking about level 2, right? Okay, so I want to know. So we usually get stuck at level 2. See, we progress at level 2, and we get stuck at level 2. And what happens is we a lot of times have a few scenarios. Let's do math. It's the easy one to look at. Maybe a person tries to learn math, fails, tries to learn math, fails. See, I can't do math. And now they repeat these videos or these scenarios over and over in their head, and pretty soon they become truth. They become fact. Become common knowledge, shall we say. I'm not good at math. Don't you know that? Okay. So, or people look, I'm just an average guy. I mean, what do you expect? Okay. Or, whatever. Is that right? I'm big boned. Or what? I don't know what to say exactly. All right. So the whole point is these are just the facts. They become knowledge almost in our minds. Okay. And yet, people learn math, and people that are overweight become thin, and people get out of the ghetto, and on and on and on. Okay, so the thing is, though, is we can't get a scenario, a strategy that we can see working for ourselves. Okay, and that's the challenge, right? So how do we do that? We're stuck with these. We get these few videos that work, and that's all we see. We're stuck with them, and we can't see anything else. I mean, it's sometimes when you're parents working with their kids, I've tried everything. I tried this, and then somebody says, well, have you tried this? And they don't want to be embarrassed. So they say, yeah, sure, I'll try it or something. I don't know. But the whole thing is they probably haven't. And the key is that they're stuck also. Okay? So one of the things as we get into training, we don't want to get stuck in training, because training is going to be challenging, and we are going to get stuck. So we want to make sure we have a way out of being stuck. Okay? So how do you get out? If you're stuck, how do you get out of it? Well, one of the first is you got to recognize that you're stuck. Okay. See, a person that can't do math says, "Well, that's just who I am. I can't do math." They're not stuck. That's just who they are. No, that's not who you are. Remember, you become the person that you get trained, that you train yourself to be. So if you want to train yourself to learn math, you can. Okay, or train yourself to be thin, or train yourself to do the things to get out of the ghetto, or to become a star, or to not, whatever it is, you can train yourself. Okay, now training yourself starts with level 2. You got to see it. You got to get a strategy, a plan. And one of the things is we're going to have a strategy and plan here with Vicoding, but some of the steps may not work for you the way that maybe we expected them to work. So you're going to get stuck. Okay, so how are you going to get through those? Oh, it's a stupid program. Oh, they don't do this right. Oh, you can come up with all sorts of excuses. Just like you come up with excuses, why you're there. Oh, I'm not talented. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough this. I don't have the connections. I'm the wrong age. I'm the wrong sex. I'm the wrong race. I'm the wrong etc. And we come up with the excuse because in the scenarios we see people being successful, those things are required. And we don't got them, so that's the reasoning we use. Okay, so that's fine. That's the pictures we see. All you were doing is when you give these excuses, tells us those are the pictures you see. So can we create some new pictures, some new visual, new ways of looking at it, where you start seeing yourself and you see yourself such that you can do the things that need to be done. Okay, so that's our goal, right? To get you unstuck. So how do we do that? Well, one of the things they say is that people that travel or people that read a lot, their minds are more open. They see things better. They don't get stuck as often. Okay, and the reason they don't get stuck is because they start to see how those people did it, and that's the same situation that I was in. What did they do? And they say, oh, that's what they did. And sometimes there's these movies, that show these same things, about how people that were just in totally impossible situations and pulled it off in movies. But a lot of times movies are so quick you can't really get them into those. Remember, we see in very specific situations. So just a couple of movies just to give an example of, the journey with the Irish challenges in the English. The Titans with the football with the players that are both of two different races. Those are some sort of impossible situations that they came up with solutions. It's a movie, everybody says, oh, it's just a movie. Maybe it is just a movie. And yet some of them were both, based on real life situations. So the question is maybe there is a way, and if we read more or if we travel more, we'd find it. Well, what if we don't? What are we going to do? We're stuck here doing vine coding, and we're stuck. How are we going to get out of this? Well, one of the challenge. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about it. So first of all, one of the things that Alan Carr does in his Easy Way to Stop Smoking, smokers couldn't see themselves becoming non-smokers. So he starts and goes into about 40 different situations, very specific situations, and talks what a person could do in those situations and become a non-smoker. He talks about the challenges that the smoker has. He talks about the brainwashing where they were taught this, but it really wasn't true. And he says, and he gives you triggers and responses and things to do. Things to do is what we're looking for, right? Situation and things to do, so it moves you forward. And those are going to do. So he takes, because they can't see it, right? They're stuck. He takes them by their hand and walks them through 40 of them. And once he gets through 40 of them, and they sort of start to get it, then they can, they're still smoking, right? As they walk through these 40, then they can actually stop smoking and go into these situations, and they have a chance of being successful. In fact, 90% apparently, according to Alan Carr, are successful that after they go through his program, can handle these situations because they've gone to level 2 and actually started to look at how to put them together and can do it. Okay, so level 2 is real important, and if we build something, usually we go to level 2 and we figure out, or if we throw a party, we go to level 2 and we picture it in our mind, or we do this. And to be successful, we need successful level 2 strategies and plans. But if we get stuck and we can't see them, we got to find ways to develop them. Well, another a good book is John Doerr, and he has Measure What Matters. It's a business book, okay? And he talks about OKRs and CFRs. So here's OKRs. It's your objective and your key results. So you're here and you have this objective. How are you going to get it? Well, you got to get some sort of strategy or plan, right? You get some, I'm going to do this, and these are the key results. And key results, so to speak, keep you on task, measuring that you're moving forward. You aren't just spinning your wheels. You're really talking real strategy, in other words. And that's one of the people that think a lot of times don't have those things. Key results are important. But he also has something called CFRs that goes with it. And this is where the person that is taking on this objective and his manager or other people get together and they have a conversation with feedback and rewards. Okay, CFRs. Okay, and it basically says, let's talk about it, and I'm going to try to be like travel or a book, put you in different perspectives, give you different insight, give you, different feedback on how maybe you could look at this a little differently and start to develop a picture where you can see, I can get to this key result and this one, and that's going to get us to where we want to go. And once we start to see that that's going to get us, now it's like we're ready to roll. We can go for it with energy and excitement. So that's business, okay? Now, the other person that I think I've talked about before is Michael Phelps, okay, the Olympic gold medal swimmer. And he was, purported to, his coach was told him, when he had a challenge in the pool, his coach told him to go home at night and play videos of seeing himself being a success. So again, here it is, a person, Michael Phelps, I'm afraid of this, so he has this challenge, what about that, what if this, that, was this, that, these concerns, and his objective was to say, okay, all right, I'm going to go swim, and this is going to happen. Okay, what am I going to do? Okay, and his coach, the way the instruction was something is that first you just magically believe it's going to happen, and then you sort of play around with it and goof around with it and start to play a little bit with it, okay, until you figure it out. Then he came back the next day, tried in the pool, see if it worked. And, so it was back and forth a little bit. But these videos allowed him to play with things that he felt challenged by or afraid of or concerned about, and he would figure out solutions, and he'd try in the pool and come up with solutions and get them to work. Now, so it started out sort of magically as he's going to win. So how's he going to win? Remember we talked about rumination, and you have this idea, okay, it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen. It's going to be magic. Okay, so let me just give you a little story. Today was National Limerick Day, and my wife was a teacher, so she was, sharing this. We were talking about it a little bit, and there's Edward Reed, I believe it is, has this. A limerick is a funny poem. Okay, so short. Funny poem. Okay, so let me see if I can remember it here. Okay, there was a man with a beard, and he said, "It's just as I feared. 2 owls and a hen, 4 larks and a wren have nested in my beard." Okay, so it has to go A, B, B, and A. So little short things, a little funny, gives you a little visual image and stuff like that. So I came downstairs and my son and my granddaughter were there, and there was a pot on the stove boiling water, my son said. And I said, "There is a pot, and it is very hot." And something like, I wouldn't touch it because I forget what I said exactly, but I actually played around with it and came up with something that rhymed sort of crazy. And both my son and my granddaughter gave me the look. They gave me, we don't play, Dad and Granddad or whatever. We don't play. Okay, playing's for kids, not for adults. Okay, we don't do that. Okay, so I want you to get that is we are trained. I don't know. I could feel the training. Don't do that. And we're trained not to play as adults. Okay, so the idea that Michael Phelps could actually play with it in his head and do the videos and work with it, that's sort of special. See, one of the things is that we get stuck in it. It's the truth, so you don't play with it. So you got to identify that you're stuck. Then you got to say, well, I'm going to play with it a little bit, and you got to train yourself to play a little bit. It means you got to be silly. You got to be crazy. You got to goof around with it. Now, you aren't going to do this all the time. You got to have a time and a place for everything. So recognize you're stuck, and then he had a time when he walked with his video, and he saw, okay, I'm going to be successful. This is what I'm going to do. I'm play with it a little bit, figure out how to do it. Okay, how to get it to work. And then I'm going to go give it a try, see if it does work. Okay, so is everybody following along a little bit? You're going to get stuck with Coding University. Okay, you're going to get things, and you very easily say, "Oh, this is a stupid program. Oh, it wasn't worked out right. Oh, they didn't figure this out right." And you can blame all sorts of things. Oh, I'm not special. Smart people can do this, but I'm not smart. No. You can do this. It doesn't. You got a brain just like I got a brain, and it isn't any smarter than mine. You really got to just learn to play a little bit. Once you learn to play around, time and place. Okay, you don't have to do it all the time, so you don't have to look stupid all the time. So, getting stuck. We don't want you to get stuck. So, get perspective. Talk to somebody. Different people to get you reading different things. Movies maybe. Travel. You see people doing things that you didn't do before. But that's how you get unstuck. Okay. So, in training, Coding University. Training humans to train themselves.